part 3, no, part 4, I think, of we're going to take the Law of One Tarot and we're going to compare it, contrast it to Matthias De Stefano's vlog on universal. This vlog is on like, what is universal? So let's move me out of the way here. All right. So last time we ended off here, and it's the I am saying, but to know is not to be conscious. When one knows, one accumulates experiences, but not wisdom. Wisdom is given with the understanding of what is known. So this is cool. But to know is not to be conscious. So this reminds me of like myself. That's the only experience I can give you, is like, I thought I knew, like, because I love education. I love to educate myself. So I started off with nursing. I got my degree in nursing. That knowledge through the education system landed me a government job at a hospital, and I worked in the hospital. Then I was like, I don't want to be a medical nurse. What do I find difficult in the body? The heart. I started studying the heart. I became a cardiac nurse. After that, more knowledge, right? Not experience, but it was through knowledge. It wasn't wisdom. It wasn't through creativity. It was literally through knowledge. It wasn't until I started my master's degree, because I loved accumulating knowledge. The ego did that. And when I got my master's degree, that was the first time I feel like in my life was creative. So I did my thesis on entrepreneurship in Canada. At the time, there was none back then. And they had to get the nursing department and the business school together to be on the committee, which was a pain in the ass. But anyways, so that was my first time being creative and feeling like, okay, I have to create this. This hasn't been done before. I've got to now think outside the box. That thinking outside the box is wisdom. So I think what they're saying is, but to know is not to be conscious. When one knows, one accumulates experiences, but not wisdom. Wisdom is given with the understanding of what is known. So it's interesting. So wisdom, which is right here, right? This is wisdom and light. Yeah, this is wisdom and light, the significant self. Wisdom is given with the understanding of what is known. Yeah, so wisdom is given with the understanding. So this here, the significant self, wisdom and light, your true I am, is only given with this heart chakra experience, love and understanding of what is known. And what is known is usually buried, or not buried. It's more an accumulation of knowledge, like I just said, but it still comes through the catalyst and the potentiator and the matrix. Because for myself, what I knew, I thought knowledge was power. And the reason I thought knowledge was power was because my dad always put that in my mind. So that matrix was created, the potentiator deposited it when I was very young. And he would say to me, you're a girl and you never need to be subservient to a man if you have a really good education and you make good money. Knowledge is power. Don't ever forget that. So I did exactly what he told me to do. I went and got super educated. But that experience that I had with the education was not my true self. It was not wisdom. It was not out of wisdom. It was out of programming, which happened all over here. Okay, wisdom is given with the understanding of what is known. When you are able to transform what you know and free yourself from the concept you have of it. Yeah, so when I started knowing that I was programmed to accumulate knowledge, where are we here? When I started knowing that I was programmed all this to accumulate knowledge, I started realizing I actually don't enjoy teaching nursing anymore. I don't enjoy it because the policies and the practices actually with my true self, my I am, they don't feel right. This control that everybody has except for me over what I teach or what I say, the curriculum, I don't know if I like that. So that's what I began to learn. And that is wisdom, because I was able to transform. When you are able to transform what you know and free yourself from the concept you have of it, that's when you learn to discern. When you become conscious of the universe. So I didn't know at the time, but the transformation happened real quick. I'm not a nurse anymore. I don't even have my license anymore. I have my accolades because I went to school, but I do nothing. And that was a transformation. I went from totally shutting the knowledge off, and now I'm so creative. Like, look at this. This is all creativity. I'm still a teacher at heart because I love this so much. I love learning, but now my learning is more through wisdom. Pretty cool. Okay. So the I says, so no philosophy, ideology, religion, faith, hope, or scientific data can really grant me universal consciousness, because the I am says, because in any of these areas, a preconception is formed that designs an exception of what is observed. Because in any of these areas, okay, so philosophy, ideology, yeah, okay, because in any of those areas, a preconception is formed that designs an expectation of what is observed. So that's exactly what we just talked about, I think. You begin to consider that the universe is what you think of it. Don't you? Yeah. And the I says, and it's not like that. The I am says, never, because the universe is infinite. The I says, yesterday I saw a video that explained that the Hubble telescope in December 1995 pointed at its maximum power in an area of space where no stars or light can be seen, at a size similar to the point of an eye, seen in the page of a book 1 meter away, and that in that small space he was able to discover up to 3,000 galaxies. It was repeated the same time later in a similar space within the same image of the point of the eye, zooming into a dark space within said point, and the result was the same, thousands of galaxies. That is to say that space is full of galaxies in every millimeter. We just can't see them. Is it something so big that it does not enter my head? The I am says, in fact, it does fit, because you have the same number of neurons. This makes me so excited, because we are the galaxy. Everything in our body, our cells, our water, the systems are called are the organs. That is all. Oh, he's saying it right here. Yeah, in fact, it does fit, because you have the same number of neurons in your body as there are galaxies in the universe. All can store data. Yes. Remember, like I was saying, the subconscious mind is the water and the unconscious mind is the systematic organs, and how they all work cohesively together. The universe is infinite. Maybe one day you will be able to count the space, but it will be very difficult to count the dimensions and the experiences, perceptions within them. So maybe you can count the space, but it would be very difficult to count the dimensions and experiences, perceptions within them. Yeah. As you will see, what is scientifically a fact in this reality is a dream or an imaginary for another dimension. Nothing then can be certain, nothing can be counted as finite. For this reason, clinging to an idea of how things are and considering that reality is based on what I believe about it does no more than delimit true consciousness. Yeah. You know, I feel like with this, isn't it interesting how, I mean, we're all here to experience and we're all learners. And I've heard somewhere, and this reminds me of how like Earth is being watched by different densities or dimensions, and they're learning from us. It's interesting because, they're trying to expand their own consciousness, but according to the I Am, like it says right here, as you will see, what is scientifically, in fact, it's reality, dream, imaginary. Nothing then can be certain. Nothing can be counted as finite. The universe is infinite. Maybe one day you will be able to count the space, but it will be very difficult to count the dimensions and experiences perception within them. So if they're learning off of like us, they're creating experiences, perceptions, which is very difficult to do because we're still, I don't know, we're still individuals. No, we are here. Yeah. Okay. Okay. The me says, which one is the real one? The I am says, the one who, instead of wanting to control the truth of the unconscious and subconscious, deigns to navigate through these aspects of being to discover its possibilities. See, you just have to be super yin to discover its possibilities, to discover itself in every corner and obtain the tools that each opportunity and potential offers, to obtain the tools that each opportunity. This is just a computer learning game. And we are here to obtain the tools that each opportunity that we have and potential offers. So this includes also synchronicity. So, we don't see what's coming from the outside to us, and we don't see that how much our words matter, but words matter, and the opportunities that are coming from outside. Like, for example, I wrote a children's book, and I'm super excited because I'm getting hard copies, and I've just been having difficulty with China, just shipping them. And yesterday after yoga at 6:15 in the morning, I saw on a license plate, it said book. And now I've asked God, I've asked the divine, any synchronicity I have, anything you're offering me, please, I want to start learning how the feeling of, oh, this is something, and I'm starting to learn it. I'm starting to learn how my body responds to the divine. When the divine is giving me something, I just get this like right away. There's a knowing now that, oh, that's something. I may not know at the time what it is, but I just know and I deposit it. So what happened was when I saw the driver's license that said book, right away I thought, maybe my book's going to come in the mail. And guess what? Last night, I got a message from the rep from China. She's like, we shipped out your book. You should be getting it soon. And today, this morning, I got a text from DHL saying that they're delivering my book today. Right? We just don't see. These are tools. Intuition, when we can connect it constantly, it provides us opportunity and potential. So I now am taking my subconscious mind, okay, right here, the potentiator, and I am controlling the potential of it. I'll give you another example. So I was like supposed to go to Victoria on the weekend, okay? And I was telling a friend, although I wasn't sure if I was going to go, but I just said it. I just said, I'm going to Victoria on the weekend, but I wasn't sure. And I picked okay, anyway, so I said it, whatever. Then I decided I was not going to go. And this morning, out of the blue, my cousin calls me, and I in my mind, I didn't say where we're going to stay, but we hadn't picked a place. But I, in my mind, just thought the Empress, because I love that place in Victoria. So this morning, my cousin calls. She's like, we're going to Victoria for the next 3 nights and we're staying at the Empress. Why don't you just come? Just stay with us. We have extra room. And I was like, oh my God, I better watch every single word I say, because it is manifesting through the subconscious mind really quick, like really quick. I kind of went off on a tangent. Sorry, guys. So here we go. It's difficult because we have perceptions in our brain, but it's not impossible. And it's one of the parameters from which you can measure your unconditionality. Whoever positions himself in an ideology, in a way of seeing things, and acclaims it as the truth, can never live in the universal consciousness. He will only live in the consciousness of said aspect. So universal consciousness can't be attained if you're constantly in your experience, which is love and understanding, but if you're not the observer. It needs the significant self in order to get to universal consciousness. So you can be conscious by having an ideology. Of course, I do. But it will never be universal. Do you understand the difference? The I says yes. That is to say that a person can be good at discerning about a specific subject, for example, climate change, which does not mean that climate change is universally the product exclusively of what the person considers. Yeah. And the I am says, and even the idea that climate change is bad is still a vision limited to the idea of what is bad for those of us who now live in this world. Because, oh, this is interesting. It was thanks to climate change that mammals populated the earth. And it was thanks to climate change that humans developed an intelligent being. As intelligent beings. It was thanks to climatic changes that the species of today exist, and from the universal point of view, perhaps this climatic change allows the beautiful species of tomorrow to exist. Wow, this is so good. So the I says, oh sure. The I am says, this does not imply that you cannot be aware of the negative effects of it, and from that awareness, watch over it to balance it. The observer. One thing does not go against the other, but if you seek universal consciousness, you must see the whole and not just what you want to see. That is so hard to do. The I says, okay, I understand. The I am says, taking the idea of the tree of life, we could say that the seed is the conscious aspect that decides to expand in its roots and branches that make up its unconscious in a fertile space of minerals and light. That is the subconscious. Minerals and light. There's light. There is in the potentiator, the subconscious, the Tower card, minerals and light. That's the spirit complex of the potentiator, the Tower. The conscious poses all the potential within it and allows it to express itself in order to find itself and discover what it is capable of. And in each branch, the root, it discovers a dimension. In each branch and root, it discovers a dimension. And in each cell, a world within which living beings manifest. So I am a spiritual manifestation of universal consciousness in the form of a human. You are a root of the spirit in the depth of existence. The I says, becoming aware of universal aspects of my being, therefore frees me from limitations. The I am says, well, no matter where you go, you will always be coming back to you. And no matter what you are, you will always be yourself. The I says, so to the question of what am I? The answer is easy. I am a universal being. And the I am says, I am the universe. The great way, right here. Doesn't the world card feel like that? Like, I am the universe. And I feel like that is being said, that I am the universe, is because they talked about the cells, it's just a physical manifestation, right? And our cells inside our body is a tree. The way the neurons fire and the way they're even shaped, how the networks work within our body are like the tree of life. And I think that is what the world card is. Well, that was fun. Love you guys so much. Bye.